It may have looked and sounded more like a Husky tailgating party, but that's because opening night of the Gig Harbor Film Festival celebrated a UW legend with the world premiere of The Dawgfather, the legacy of Don James. In 18 seasons, Coach James led the Huskies to 153 wins, 4 Rose Bowl victories, and a national championship.
He's the greatest coach of all time, not just football, but life.
Director Kent Loomer spent 6.5 years working on the documentary.
When you talk to any former Don James player and you bring up Coach James, their complete attitude changes. Stand straighter, stand prouder. That man made a real impact. His imprint is everywhere.
In an era dominated by domineering coaches like Alabama's Bear Bryant and Ohio State's Woody Hayes, Don James revolutionized the role, playing CEO, overseeing what he called the system from his coaching tower.
He was the guy that stood on that tower about 15, 20 feet over the field every day, and he allowed his coaches to create relationships with his players, and he coached the coaches. So if things weren't going right at practice, he didn't get on us, he got on his coaches.
His teams had star players, but the system kept egos in check.
He really instilled in us the team aspect of the game and not the individual. So we were looking at how we performed for our guy, our teammate next to us.
Anthony Allen says Coach James was always honest and approachable, up to a point.
But I know one time I went into his office to complain about a couple things, and I went in there at 5'11". When I walked out, I was about 5'3", so.
He brought people together. He brought races together. He recruited who was ever a good football player, and he didn't give a damn what color you were. If you could play football, you were going to play football.
As late as the mid-'70s, a black quarterback was a rare sight. Though he was setting records, Warren Moon kept getting passed over until Don James recruited him.
He believed in me, and a lot of people when I was coming out of high school and junior college didn't think I could play quarterback, and for some reason he thought I could, and he gave me an opportunity to play big-time college football on the West Coast where my family could still see me play.
The legacy of Don James goes beyond the winning record. It continues to this day, with his coaches and players making a difference on and off the field.
The biggest message from our film is that one person can make a difference. Being selfless in this world is not a bad thing. Putting others before self in a world that's very selfish right now, I think a message we can all really use.